Week 9 for the Cincinnati Bengals, and they are facing a team who's not from the division, not from the AFC, but this game is still very, very important, in my opinion, for the Cincinnati Bengals going through the rest of the season. We're talking about that right now.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Orange Report with Elise Jesse.
From 31 yards. McPherson, and Cincinnati is heading to the Super Bowl. They did it. They beat Mahomes at home. Wow, Joe Burrow. No way.
The sickest Cincinnati Bengals podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And you know what? I'm going to be feeling pretty sick if the Cincinnati Bengals cannot come away with a win on Sunday, because if they aren't able to win on Sunday, I'm just going to put this out there quickly. I'm not going to beat around the bush. If they fall 2-3-6, the sun is now setting on the Bengals. The sun is setting on the idea of Joe Burrow coming back in 2025, seeing him playing on the field again, and the Bengals having a real shot at being relevant in 2025. And that sun, with a loss, it is setting. It is setting on this team here in Cincinnati. And that is it's really a brutal feeling, because there was so much excitement leading into this season, especially with, all the signings and Joe Burrow being healthy and training camp going well and, signing Trey Hendrickson and all of this stuff coming together. And it just felt like the perfect season was upon Cincinnati Bengals fans. And so far, it has just been an absolute SHIT show. Okay. Just absolutely brutal. I have, I think, what's going on? First of all, before I get into all the nitty gritty and the numbers and everything, McKinley Jackson asking for a trade, Logan Wilson asking for a trade. What is going on the defensive side of the ball? Players do not seem happy. This many guys asking for trades is interesting. Obviously, that has quite a lot to do with playing time. These players are evaluating themselves as better players and a bigger asset to this team than the team and the coaching staff is evaluating them at. And there's clearly a disagreement between the two parties on whether or not Logan Wilson still has the juice and whether or not McKinley Jackson has value out there on the field. He has not seen a lot of playing time. I think it's getting really, really dicey in there right now. The loss of Joe Burrow was one of the most brutal hits ever. I think it's also so funny when you talk about, or when you listen to especially the national media talk about different teams, like the second the quarterback goes down, they're like, it's a wash, season's done. But it's so funny because in Cincinnati, I grew up in this city, so I know there's just this this unshakable hope that Bengals fans have for success and have for the season. And I think that's a reflection of what the personality of this city is overall. Like, there's just a lot of hope and a lot of grit and hard work. And they feel like they have been, this is my opinion of you. So let me know what you think in the comments. This is my opinion of you. You have worked your tail off to pay for the very expensive tickets, to watch your team and watch Joe Burrow take the Cincinnati Bengals to the playoffs and even further into the Super Bowl. You want to be there to watch that moment. You work your tails off to spend that money, to be in that seat, to see the magical moments from this team that they have shown us in the past. They have, especially Joe Burrow under center, like they have a history of showing so much magic on that field. And I know you guys want to be there to see it in person. And I know you guys are just, you're using your hard-earned money. One of the things I want to get to, one of the things I want to discuss with you, especially in the comments, I will be logged in. And I do want to have discussions with you back and forth on this, because it's the only my Twitter is still hacked. So it's the only real way that I can communicate back and forth with you guys. I want to put this up on the screen. If Juliana can get this up on the screen, the interesting Reddit thread that we came across from one Bengals fan who said that he called the front office. I'm paraphrasing here because it's kind of a long text. I don't want to just read to you. But he essentially said that he called to cancel his tickets after the Bengals lost to the Jets, right? And so he was just kind of like, screw this. Like, I'm not going to continue to pay money to watch my team fail at home like they did against the Jets, losing 39-38. That was demoralizing. And so he calls, and according to him, now I have not called the Bengals front office to double check this with them, but he essentially said that they were guilt tripping him and telling him that, or asking him if he just wanted to be essentially calling him a bandwagon fan in a way is how I read that. Maybe I'm wrong. And then they were asking if he wanted to have lower prices or if he wanted to pay T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I found that very, very interesting. If you have like other kind of stories involving talking to the front office, good or bad, I would love to hear about it. I'm very interested in how that's been going because I know those ticket prices have been rising steadily since they went to the Super Bowl in 2021. And how you guys feel about, are you getting the value from the ticket? Like, do you feel like purchasing Cincinnati Bengals tickets are still valuable in your opinion? I remember I covered this team for what is it, 13 or 14 seasons? I don't even know. Somewhere in the teens at this point. I remember the days where the Cincinnati Bengals could not fill the stands. I mean, a lot of butts missing from those seats. And that was in the Andy Dalton days. That was towards the end of Marvin Lewis's tenure before Zach Taylor was hired. That was certainly before the Joe Burrow era. So I feel like it's very, very interesting that in the Joe Burrow era, granted, he's not playing this year. Well, he might come back. We'll see. In the Joe Burrow era, people are canceling their seats because they're feeling like they're not getting what they deserve with the amount of money that they are spending. So that there, would love to hear from all of you guys about like what's going on with that and how you guys are kind of navigating that situation, whether or not you want to continue to pay and hope to see more magic, or if you're just like, I'm done, I can allocate these funds to something else. I'm interested to hear. Okay, so some of the keys that I have for the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday against the Bears, another must win. Here we are once again. It's like Groundhog's Day. We say this every week, don't we? Every week, every year, we're talking about how it's a must win game. Man, it would be so nice to not have to talk about the Bengals being in a must-win situation. It looked promising, of course, the first 2 weeks. They started off strong, and it's been a roller coaster ever since. Absolutely must get pressure on Caleb Williams. Must get pressure on Caleb Williams. Obviously, we all know that it is very hard for this team to get pressure on a quarterback without Trey Hendrickson playing. He's dealing with that hip injury, but that is a must. They haven't recorded a sack since Green Bay, and that is embarrassing. You look at the Bears on third down conversion rate, 41%. The Bengals aren't much better. They're at 39%. But the Bengals defense needs to win in third down situations, get off the field, and give that ball to, we'll talk about this in a second, hopefully Joe Flacco. He practiced Thursday. As of recording right now, the Bengals are practicing for Friday. So we don't know whether or not he is going at it from a limited perspective. We'll find that out in a few hours, or if he is a full go, or if maybe he's holding out because yesterday's practice maybe didn't go as he was planned. Anyways, back to defense. Let's get back to that for a second. Caleb Williams coming off of a game where they allowed Baltimore to get back on track. Caleb Williams did not score a touchdown against Baltimore's defense. Failed to throw a touchdown, and it's actually kind of crazy. I was looking at NFL Next Gen Stats. Listen to this. They have Caleb Williams ranked as 24th among 32 quarterbacks in completion percentage, 29th in touchdowns, 20th in passer rating, and dead last in expected completion percentage. his accuracy has been a very big issue. I don't think that's in question whatsoever. It doesn't really make sense to me because he's got a great offensive line. He's got the receivers and DeAndre Swift. Kidding me? What gives? What's going on? And here's the thing. You can't look at those stats though. Yes, those stats make me think that Caleb Williams I haven't watched every single game tape of him, but it makes me think that he is having some serious struggles in 2025. And the Bengals cannot allow him to come in and have that be the get right game for him. The Bengals have allowed themselves to be the defense that lets other quarterbacks and other receivers and other running backs get back on track and really shine. Here's the thing with the Bengals. No team is afraid to face the Bengals. Everybody wants to play the Bengals. Why? Because the way that they've been playing, their inconsistency, a lot of teams are able to expose them, and a lot of teams are able to not to win on the Cincinnati Bengals, whether on the road or at home. The Bengals teams aren't afraid to play you. Teams are not afraid to deal with you, especially your defense. They used to be afraid, especially when Joe Burrow was at the helm. They were maybe afraid for a small minute after the Thursday night game against Pittsburgh. But right now, no one is afraid of you. No one has your name written on a whiteboard as a target. You're not a target. Maybe you're a target. You're an easy target. You don't want to be that team in the NFL. It sucks for you guys. It sucks for the coaching staff. It sucks for the fans. Like, it sucks for the city. They'll be the easy target of the NFL. Come on now. I'm so tired of that. Aren't you? I'm tired of it. I know you are. The other key I have is on the offensive side of the ball. I glazed over a little bit how Joe Flacco is, how he practiced on Thursday. Didn't practice Wednesday, practiced Thursday. So it's interesting to see how he's going to look today. Very limited on Thursday. So what does that bring? How does his shoulder feel? Because he has that AC joint injury in his throwing arm. How he feels on Friday headed into the game 2 days later. I don't know. This is an interesting question, I guess, for you guys too. Like, would you rather see a Joe Flacco who is dealing with an injury, but so far he's thrown 64.3% completion pass. Looks pretty good. 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He looks pretty good. Or would you rather see Jake Browning, who has struggled mightily? He played 3 games in 2025, but those games were kind of brutal to watch, to be honest with you. Which one do you want to see? An injured Joe Flacco or a struggling Jake Browning? I don't know. I think you can go either way. I think it would be interesting to see how the benching affected Jake Browning and whether or not he brings that edge and maybe brings just a little bit more oomph to his game if he is the starter on Sunday against the Bears. I would be interested to see that. No matter who is starting at quarterback, the run game needs to be efficient again for a 3rd straight game. They have to keep that consistency on the ground, in the ground game. They have to keep that going. That will be mightily important, because if Joe Flacco is the one who is playing, everybody knows in the NFL that his shoulder has been an issue. So defensive coordinators are going to try to expose that. So you need to lean into your run game just a little bit more. He's not going to be able to sit there and sit back and throw 40 passes in a game. It's just not feasible for Joe Flacco at this moment in time. So yeah, get the run game going. Pressure Caleb Williams. You do not. And please stop being the target. Stop being the easy target of the NFL. Give me a break already with that. 4-6, it's not great, but it's better than 3-6. 3-6, we're closing that book. Okay. I mean, I don't know where you go from 3-6. I really don't. I don't know. I don't think the conversation about Joe Burrow returning to the field should even be a topic of discussion if you are at 3-6. That is just my opinion. I want to know if you feel the same way or if you think I'm being, I don't know, a little too brash about that situation. I don't think I'm wrong. I don't want to see Joe Burrow out on the field playing for a team who has a losing record and nothing to play for. That's just me. I don't know. We shall see. I'm interested. I'm very interested. A word from our sponsor. NFL fans, what is your favorite touchdown? For me, it's the next one. Because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first down touchdown score to anytime TD props, or the thrill of live in-game betting. Every snap is loaded with opportunity. Here's the best part. New customers bet just $5 and your bet wins you $300 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 6sports. That is code 6sports for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets. If your bet wins in partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Now, we spoke about the Bengals getting that run game going, and they do have an opportunity to do that against the Bears defense because they rank 27th in stopping the run. However, you look at the Bengals stats and on defense, total defense last, rushing defense last, passing third to last. Not great. Not a great situation to be in. I think this game will also, my final key, I think that this game will also come down to turnovers. The Bears rank first in turnover differential. I want to see Jordan Battle come away with another pick. I want to see Geno Stone play lights out. I want to see them. You all listened to my rant after the Bengals lost to the Jets. I want to see better fundamentals. I would love to see better tackling, taking better angles, getting off the block, wrapping guys up. You've already heard me say that. I want to see it on Sunday. I don't want to hear. That's part of my problem is I keep hearing a lot of talk. Walk the walk. Win the game, move on to week 10. At least act like you know what you're doing on the football field because you've played it your whole life. Does that mean? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just, you know what I mean. All right, try Fuel today with 15% off your purchase for new customers with my exclusive code SickBengals at Huel.com/SickBengals. You can use my code and fill out the post-checkout survey to help this show. So here we go. Pressure on the quarterback. Yes. Inject that run game. Win the turnover battle. Very simple. Very simple. From my vantage point, it's very simple, right? I think we can switch the conversation. I hate being negative about this team. I really don't like. Why? Because sports is fun. Sports is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to enjoy yourself when you're talking about sports. The last few years have not been very fun talking about this team. I would like to enjoy my conversation when this team is involved as the main topic. Anyway, happy Halloween. Enjoy your night. Stay safe. And I will see you next week after the game.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast, The Orange Report with Elise Jesse on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.